When Cortez residents were snuggled in beds during the snowstorms that hit the area over President's Day weekend, City of Cortez road crews were firing up their snowplows at 3 o'clock in the morning to start clearing the streets. You're watching the Local News Network, brought to you by Kazee Motors and Big O Tires. I'm Wendy Graham-Settle. A series of storms that fell over President's Day week dropped more than a foot of heavy wet snow in Cortez. But the city's road crews were on the spot, clearing roads for traffic, emergency equipment, and schools. Road maintenance crews worked more than 300 hours of overtime between Valentine's Day and the following Wednesday, starting their 12-hour shifts at 3 in the morning.
We start with Main Street, and once we get Main Street opened up, then we start with the rest of the main, Mildred, Montezuma, and 3rd and 7th and Sligo. That's the high school and stuff. Get the schools open, and then we start spreading out later in the day out into the suburbs and plow them out if they need it.
Public Works has 3 snowplows and 6 pickup trucks with plows to clear about 50 miles of roadway in the city limits. They use about 500 tons of sand on average each year and plow U.S. Highway 160 through town from the intersection with Colorado Highway 145 on the east to Maple Street on the west. They try to be courteous and refrain from plowing in your driveway, but if they do, they're happy to drive back to clear the way. Royce says the snowplow crews start early in the morning to avoid traffic, but motorists still try to pass them. All he asks is that you do it safely, and if you don't, you could pay a traffic fine.
There actually is a Colorado law that's against that. If I got your license plates number and turned you in, they'd come and write you a ticket. You crowd a snowplow, you can't get a ticket for that. They do it. You just, go around to safe. Wait until it's clear and you can get around, because you're messing with, and if they're throwing sand, you're going to get hit with that when you try to get by. So, there's signs on them to stay back 50 feet for a reason. But I understand they want to get by, but most of the time we can go, 20, 25 mile an hour, and that's the speed in town. We don't have it as bad as the highway, state guys, because all of ours is slow. So, people's usually pretty good about, probably Main Street's the worst one about them wanting to pass you, but it's big enough they can, so.
Cortez averages 49 inches of snow a year. Snowfall to date totals nearly 28 inches. And when the snow falls again, rest assured that Royce and his crews will be out with their plows in the wee hours of the morning.
They know they got to do their job, and I got a good bunch of guys. You call them and they're here. Right. I'm really lucky that way. I got a good bunch of guys that care about their job and getting it done. And you get tired, but you don't have a choice. You got to keep going.
Thanks for watching this edition of the Local News Network. Stay up to date on the latest news stories through Twitter and Instagram, or listen to us on your favorite podcast app. I'm Wendy Graham-Settle.